Let me start by asking you a question. What happens when ice melts? It becomes water, right? It becomes ice water, right? A teacher asked the same question to students at an elementary school. Most of the students like us answered, it becomes water. It becomes ice water. But from one corner, a student shyly said, spring comes. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it surprising? They said that when ice melts, spring comes. That student broke the framework of perspective or paradigm that most of us have. In fact, breaking this framework of thinking is very difficult, right? But you need to break that framework of thinking for any change to happen. Something happens. They say that if you break that framework, instill positive thinking, and have passion, an enormous energy for success is generated. Perhaps the Wright brothers also broke their own framework of thinking and invented the airplane that flies in the sky. Steve Jobs also broke the framework of thinking and created the current smartphone we carry around. I too had a moment where I broke the framework of my fixed ideas and faced an innovative change in my life. Let me show you a photo. This photo is the family photo of us 3 siblings. Currently, my youngest sibling and their spouse, as well as I, are royal masters and members of royal leaders, earning over 200 million, one annually. And my 3rd sibling and their spouse are crown masters and members of crown leaders, earning over 400 million, one annually. Looks good, right? Many people envy us when they see us like this now. But it wasn't like this from the start. There were difficulties at the beginning. In the spring of 2012, our youngest sibling excitedly claimed to have discovered something amazing that would change the history of our family. And what they presented was Atomy. But at first glance, what is this? It pulls everyone in. I thought finally, the devil's hand has reached our home too. I thought God was putting our family to the test, because at that time, I believed that multi-level marketing was a social evil. It had truly harmed many people and ruined many families. So, many people had a very negative perception that multi-level marketing was something that should never be done. Therefore, the whole family got involved to stop the youngest sibling. We were really strongly opposed. Around the time we were opposing it, you know how tall people can be a bit bland. Among our family, the tallest, my 3rd sibling's husband, betrayed us after 6 months. He was recruited and started the Atomy business. Then, a year later, even my 3rd sibling followed her husband and started the Atomy business. I was really scared and afraid because I was worried that my beloved siblings might end up in trouble. My siblings were not the type of people to get involved in multi-level marketing. At that time, I thought that people who did multi-level marketing were either a bit mentally unstable, chasing after quick riches, or people who couldn't make a living otherwise. But my siblings were mentally stable and living well. They were living comfortably. When such siblings said they were doing multi-level marketing, I opposed it for 2 years and 2 months. But then something strange happens. While waiting for them to fail, they don't fail. Why aren't they failing? Instead of failing, these people are actually becoming happier. So I started to feel envious, because at that time, I had failed miserably in business, and having a family, I had no choice but to just scrape by. So I started to think, I once had a time when I was as happy as they are, and I wished I could live well like them again. So I began to investigate why they were so happy. What brought about such a change? Upon investigating, I found that there was only one thing that had changed. Their lives changed just by incorporating Atomy into them. So I looked into Atomy. In Atomy, I discovered remarkable mechanisms that shattered my preconceived notion that multi-level marketing is a societal evil. Indeed, Within Atomy, there were incredible mechanisms hidden that could enable one to become wealthy and create a system income. Everyone, you're all working hard these days, right? No response, huh? Maybe you're not working hard, but I'm sure everyone is working hard, really. Working hard to live. I was living diligently too. But why is it so hard to live like this? Why is it so difficult to become wealthy? Is it because you lack ability? Or is it because you haven't found the tools to become wealthy? Right. It's probably just that you haven't found the tools to become wealthy. But what are most of us doing? We are working to buy money with our time. In other words, if I don't work, my income stops. We are doing jobs where if we don't invest our labor, we don't earn income. In other words, they are wage earners. People who receive salaries or self-employed individuals, doctors, judges, and lawyers are ultimately knowledge, labor earners who make money by selling their knowledge. But if you look at the lives of about 5% of the wealthy in the world, those people are buying time with money. They are the ones generating continuous income. They have created systems where money keeps coming in even while they are sleeping. And these people are accumulating the world's wealth. People like Warren Buffett and Elon Musk, whom you all know well. Here, we need to think about why we should engage with Atomy. Because within Atomy, there are mechanisms that can make you wealthy and allow you to become a system income earner. And Atomy is precisely the tool for that. Are you happy these days? It seems like you're not happy. If you go to the people around you and ask, are you happy? There probably won't be many who say, yes, I'm happy. Why is that? Because the future is uncertain. We thought that once the COVID-19 pandemic ended, the world would return to normal and we would live well. But how is it? It got harder, right? It's become more challenging, hasn't it? Because the pace of change has accelerated so much during the COVID-19 period. Previously, we could sense changes, but now they happen in the blink of an eye. But in fact, our society was already changing before COVID-19. You know about the fourth industrial revolution, right? With the development of artificial intelligence, jobs that were close to us have been disappearing, one by one. Think about the jobs that have disappeared around you. What could they be? The ladies who used to collect tolls at toll gates lost their jobs to the AI system called HiPass. In most large restaurants, the ladies who used to serve have all been replaced. What kind of ladies have they been replaced with? They are short and can only sing one song, like di-di-di-di-di-di. Those robot ladies have replaced them all. Even through the COVID-19 pandemic, with the emergence of a massive AI called ChatGPT, not only the physical jobs we do, but even the intellectual jobs that our children have studied hard to gain knowledge for are now at risk of disappearing. Doctors, judges, lawyers are truly already in the category of jobs at risk of disappearing. But here, whether your job disappears or not, you might think, I've lived long enough, and I can just live like this until I die. However, the world won't let you die. We can't die as we please. Why? Because with the advancement of science and medical technology, human lifespan is increasing. What was the insurance age 20 years ago? 80-year insurance. 10 years ago, it was 100-year insurance. And now there's 120-year insurance. They say we will live up to 120 years. Children born now are said to live up to 149 years. Even Google has created a company called Calico, investing 2 trillion won to research a project aimed at extending human lifespan to 500 years. Will this research to live up to 500 years succeed, or will it not? That's right, it will. You know by looking at the moon. Who used to live on the moon in the past? A rabbit was living there. What was the rabbit doing? It was pounding rice cakes. But when we went to the moon, was there a rabbit? Wasn't there? The important thing is not whether there was a rabbit or not, but that we went there. What we once thought of as science fiction, humans have made it a reality. Eventually, we will succeed in this project to live up to 500 years. Is it good to live long, everyone? Is living long a blessing or a curse for you? Is it a curse? Oh, you must not be doing Atomy. For me, living long is a blessing because I am preparing for that. Long life through Atomy, so I have no fear. Whether living long is a blessing or a curse ultimately depends on whether you have prepared for the future or not. Or it depends on whether you have hope for the future or not. If you have a lottery ticket, you're happy for a week, right? Why are you happy? Because there's hope that you might win, right? Ultimately, where does human happiness lie? It lies in the future. Even if I'm not living well now or living with difficulty, if I have hope for the future, I am a happy person. However, even if someone is living well now, if they are anxious about the future, they are an unhappy person. In the end, happiness is in the future. Ultimately, as much as we live, we need to prepare for it. But what do we need to prepare to get ready for the future? Someone said somewhere that we need to prepare a warm heart. How do you prepare for the future with a warm heart? In the end, it's money, isn't it? Right? You need to prepare money. To prepare money, you need to study well. The present that is around you right now. Why? To earn money, you need to know the flow of trends. You need to know where the money is flowing so you can stand at the crossroads and earn money. So, where is the money now? In the bank. Currently, all this money is being sucked into the smartphones you carry around, right? In the past, you could earn money by setting up a store at a prime location and doing good business, but that era is already over. Companies that set up a market on smartphones, social media, and the internet gather a large membership and provide something to their members. We call those platform companies, right? The people who create such platform companies and systems are taking all the wealth of the world. A prime example is Amazon, which makes 600 trillion won a year, Alibaba, Google, Facebook, and in our country, Kakao Naver Kupang, right? But in 2022, an event occurs in our country. Do you know who the richest person in 2022 is? Samsung's Lee Jae-yong, the vice chairman of the global giant Samsung, becomes the richest person. But in 2022, Kakao's chairman Kim Byung-soo rises to become the richest. How did Kakao, which doesn't have any manufacturing facilities, become the richest? The answer lies here. Kakao has recruited almost the entire nation. We are recruiting 35 million members, which is almost the entire population. They attracted the entire nation by offering free messaging and even free international calls. What do they provide to these recruited people? They introduced a bank. I am currently using Kakao Bank. It's incredibly convenient. When using a regular bank, there were so many things like financial certificates and joint certificates, which made it difficult. But with Kakao Bank, those aren't really necessary. However, this bank doesn't have a building in each city. There's no such thing as building something like that, right? But amen. Kakao has far more transactions than a bank like Kookmin Bank, which has tens of thousands of branches. Raise your hand if you have the divine ability to hail a taxi by hand these days. No one, right? Kakao doesn't own a single taxi, yet it uses taxis across the country as if they were its own. That's why Kakao's chairman Kim Byung-soo became the richest person. They say the answer lies here. Futurists say, to prepare for your retirement, create such a system. If you can't create it, buy such a system. If you can't create or buy it, get into such a system and use it to make money. Can you create such a platform company? No, there isn't. Then can you buy it? No, there isn't. But you need to use it to make money. Are there platform companies around us that come to our businesses and say, use this to make money? Yes, there are. It's not that there aren't any, there are. YouTube or Instagram, they're video platforms like YouTube. But to make money there, you need to have talent. You need to be very good at speaking, or singing, dancing, or have some kind of talent, right? But you don't have talent. I don't have it either. That's why I can't do it. It's difficult. The conditions are too strict, right? So, should we just sit back and do nothing because there are no such companies? We need to look for them. You have found them so well that you are here today. You have encountered a company called Atomy. Atomy is a global platform company with 15 million members in 27 countries worldwide. However, Atomy is not as strict as other platforms like YouTube. You don't need to have any special skills. You can join without any conditions. And once you join, it's not just about using our company to make money. The moment you join, you are given the right to own a part of this platform company. In other words, you become the owners of the platform company. You have become the owners. Therefore, you need to understand well why you should engage with Atomy. The reason you should do Atomy is that it allows you to create a system within Atomy that lets you live well for a lifetime and even become a system income earner, living as a wealthy person. Because you can become rich through Atomy, you should engage with Atomy. Thank you. So if you can indeed create a system income with Atomy, what is the starting point? The starting point is called an auto sales master, and Atomy has 7 ranks. Among them, the first rank is sales master, which is a salesperson. Now, how do you become this salesperson? This is calculated by monthly basis. The month is divided into 2 periods, from the 1st to the 15th, and from the 16th to the end of the month. The sales that in the 15 days, if it reaches 2.5 million PV, 2.5 million PV, 2.5 million PV, 2.5 million PV, when it becomes 2.5 million PV, they award you the rank of sales master and give you a prize of about 1 million won. But if this is achieved continuously, without rest during both the first and second half of the month, then you become an auto sales master and can earn a system income of 2 million won per month. To explain in more detail, from the 2 lines on my left and right, in a month, I appreciate my loyal users who spend 100,000 PVs each. By creating just 50 of them, you become an auto sales master. It seems a bit easy, right? Seeing that there are no responses, it seems difficult. But surprisingly, in Atomy, this can be done easily. Because, first, Atomy deals with products that have conditions that consumers can't help but like. If you sell really good products cheaply, consumers will flock to you. This is an economic principle. We handle products that adhere strictly to this principle. You've heard of it, right? Absolute quality. Selecting products that no one else can match and offering absolute prices. We sell at prices that consumers can't help but love. It's a company that sells department store level goods cheaper than at a supermarket. So consumers who encounter these products can't just use them once. They inevitably become repeat users. It's really easy to create loyal consumers. The second point is, there is a mechanism that allows you to recognize not only your own abilities, but also the abilities of others as your own, which is the infinite levels of infinite accumulation. In other words, instead of creating 50 people who use 100,000 PB per month, I only create 10 people. Then those 10 loyal users each create 5 more people. This way, it can easily become 50 people. It's not just what I create that gets recognized, but also the people created by those loyal users are recognized as my achievement. Now it seems a bit easier, right? Isn't it? So, becoming an auto seller who can earn system income, isn't that difficult? But to become that auto seller or system income earner, there's something essential you must do. What do you think it is? It's not just using the product, but you have to love and be passionate about your product in English. Since you are the president of your company, I mentioned earlier that each of you was given a platform, right? You all became presidents. As the president, you should be devoted to using the products. A president must have pride in their own products.